Observers are, above all, collectors. However, every harvest requires filters, and no filter is perfect. The volume of information, impressions, and stimuli they gather is vast, disordered, and impossible to control. This abundance makes it inevitable that the filtering process is flawed. What passes through is not governed by precise criteria, since ignorance predominates in the construction of the filters. What passes through the filters does not obey precise criteria, because those criteria are built from ignorance. Thus, irrelevant elements cross the barriers, while essential aspects are left aside. Even the observers themselves become lost in this incessant work of collecting and filtering, consuming time and energy on tasks that seem never to be completed. This continuous effort occupies so much space that there is hardly any room left for what is truly essential. To seek and to find, for them, are verbs that never meet. The belief that those who seek, find, is merely a fallacy, born from a misunderstanding of the nature of being. Finding is not the result of seeking, it is an act of revelation. To discover is not to pursue something external, but to allow what already exists to become visible. To seek oneself is different from abandoning oneself, and is the opposite of dissolving oneself. The observer-collector will hardly understand that being is already complete in itself. And, being whole, nothing is lacking, except its own presence. Only being understands the silent depth contained in the expression, I am. But, I am, still places the individual within time and space. Only dissolution, the suspension of the observer, the collector, the seeker, allows one to cross this boundary. It is unlikely that someone trapped within filters will be able to eliminate them, to the point of reaching the deepest meaning of these words. The encounter with oneself is only offered in absolute silence. As long as there is seeking, there will be noise. Art, as well as true inner science, can only be practiced in silence and away from all eyes. That is why it is called art, or occult science. Not because it is secret, but because it reveals itself only to those who cease the noise. Nothing from the concrete world, and above all nothing from the subtle world, should enter the inner laboratory. There will always be what has always been, the presence of the one being. This is the only indispensable condition. Everything else is distraction, collection, filtering, and noise.